Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Kaydence. Today I have an exciting video for you. I'm going to do my October unboxing of my No Make No Life box. So it's a monthly subscription box and it comes every month in the mail and I always look forward to seeing it. This is the look that I will be creating today. And let me tell you, I think this is my favorite box that I have received so far. And I said that about June and I also said that about September, but I think there's just something about this box that I really love, like all the products. You'll see me go into detail about them, but yeah, this is what is going to be happening in this video. So if you want to learn about No Make No Life and all of their fun products that are in this box right here, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, to start, I'll be unboxing my October 2021 No Make No Life box. This month's theme is the Shibuya Night Out. This month's box is inspired by Shibuya City. It's a popular city in Tokyo, Japan. In my NML box, there is always going to be a pamphlet, and in the pamphlet, it shares details about what inspired the box, usually a fun question, a product lineup list. It will go into detail about one particular product, so like this month was the under eye mask. On the back there's going to be a mini contest you can enter and a get featured page. This month's product lineup are the Macaron makeup puffs, Etude House under eye mask, and Skinfood pumpkin face mask. 3D face palette, the brand remains to be a mystery. These really cute nail point stickers, Choosy Lip Treatment, the Etude House Dear Darling Water Gel Tint, Dodo Hologram Lip Gloss, lastly the Dodo Hologram Eyeshadow. So that was all from this box. I'm now applying this Choosy Lip Treatment. It reminded me of a thinner version of Vaseline and it had a slight rose vanilla scent. Since I use a sponge to apply my makeup, I'm going to go ahead and open these Macaron face puffs. And first impression, they were not as soft as I expected, but I went to go ahead and wet one. And you can see how big it expanded and they are pretty squishy. After pinning my hair back with my lucky clips, I have already prepped my skin with my usual sunscreen and my concealer. I'm going to go ahead and start with my Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation in the shade Swan. I wanted to use the Macaron puff that I had already wet previously, and I definitely prefer them wet. You can see me after I go in on the other side with the puff dry, and I switched back to the wet one because it just blended my foundation a lot better. I do think these Macaron puffs were fun to use, but I don't see myself using them every day. I just like the smaller, more precise tips that I'm able to get under my eye and blend out my concealer. I feel like with these, they weren't as squishy as I expected, and they don't really get in the small areas of my face like my inner corners. But if you're going to use them, I definitely recommend using them damp. Usually when I film unboxing videos featuring No Make No Life, I don't include other products because I want the products that I'm using from No Make No Life to kind of shine through. But I wanted to mention this Milani Stay Put brow color. I have the color in soft brown and I really like this. It's kind of like a brow pomade and I really like the little brush that it comes with. It's not very waxy, but it still gives a nice hold and color to your brows. It also does not transfer very easily. It is very precise, and after using it, I think the color is just a tad too light. So to darken them, I'll be using my Benefit Cosmetics 3D Brow Tones in the color 4. And then I set them with my Benefit Cosmetics 24-Hour Brow Setter. Out of all the products that I've received in this box, this 3D face palette was definitely my favorite and I was most looking forward to using it, and it definitely did not disappoint because, spoiler alert, I've been using this every day in my makeup routine. I really like the color of this palette and I really like how it complements my fair skin. I started off using a medium-sized fluffy brush, but I figured it would be too big, so I switched to my Morphe fluffy brush. It's slightly angled, so I thought it was perfect to kind of get in these tiny rectangular squares. I'm going to pick up this bronzy shade first. It looks like a warm bronzy shade to me. I really like applying my bronzer like blush because I really like giving myself added color to my skin. I used the bronzer shade like contour on my nose. I did that by pinching the sides of my brush to make it more precise. The next face powder that I'll be using is my face contouring, and I applied this by sucking in my cheeks. and I applied that to the hollow part. I also followed along my forehead, under my chin, and the same way by pinching the brush and applying that to the sides of my nose. I really love the colors of these powders, and I also really love the tones of them because I feel like it adds enough color back to my face, but it kind of accentuates my features. After that, I'll be going in with this blush shade. It is a very warm pink, and I apply that to the top of my cheekbones. I also will smile while applying my blush to make sure I really get the high points of my cheekbones and really give more color back to my face. The second to last powder in this face palette is this white highlight shade, and I applied this light highlight and I only did one side of my face at first, and you can definitely see when I look into the camera that it did do some brightening to my face, and I feel like it smoothed everything out. I feel like this palette made me look airbrushed the whole day. I didn't have to do any touching up of my makeup. The very last powder that I used in this face palette is this really sparkly, very light brown shade, and in the pamphlet it says it is recommended to use it right under the contouring shade that you use, but I also use this as highlight, especially to highlight the center of my face. I feel like there aren't enough words to express my love for this palette. I have used it every day, and I truly believe that I look airbrushed when I use it. After I powder my face, I like to use my MAC's Fix Plus face setting powder, and after that I went and primed my eyelids, and I used my Beck Issue White Eye Primer. I found this off Amazon and it was very affordable. The eyeshadow palette that I will be using today is my Buzz 2-in-1 palette, and I got this in my Shibuya Summer July unboxing. These shadows are actually all shimmers except for the lone brown matte in the bottom right corner, but I use this almost every day. I switch it out with my Sweet Peach Too Faced palette. Both of those are my go-to palettes for creating everyday makeup looks. I'm choosing to set the eye primer on my eyes using the bottom left shadow. It's a very tan, shimmery shadow. This one is closest to my skin tone and it will set my eye primer nicely. Now I am choosing to go in with this brown matte shadow, and you can see I only picked this up on one side of my brush. Right away you can definitely see how pigmented this palette is. I had low expectations of this palette, to be honest, when I first used it because they look very sheer, but when you blend them out on your eyelid they are actually the exact opposite. These shadows are very buildable. I wanted to emphasize the outer corner of my eye first, so I worked on that, just building up the pigment and just blending it in, kind of following my upper lash line. I am really bad at remembering to do both eyes at the same time, so I was determined to try that this time, and of course you can see how that worked out. I kind of got lost in my own world creating this makeup look and did the other eye off camera, but I have the other eye, so I'm going to show you what I did to achieve the look on my other eye. So after applying the brown matte shade on the outer corner of my eye, I'm going to take the two brown shades left in this palette, the warm brown and also the cool brown, and I'm going to be using circular motions, and following my natural crease, I'm going to be using this to soften the edge of this look and bring depth and more color to this look. After I'm happy with that, I'm taking the only gold shade in this palette and also the tan shade that I use to set my eye primer. I'm going to apply that using circular motions on the outer edges of this look to really soften and bring everything together. Now I'm choosing to apply the Dodo Hologram eyeshadow. I chose to use this on the upper eye in the first third of my eyelid. I really like this shadow a lot because it was very brightening, and after I used this for the first time, I couldn't stop using it days after. I think it really just adds a nice pop of brightness to your eye, and it makes you look more awake. Now, after tapping that out with my finger, I decided at this point to go ahead and do my lower lash line, so I took the brown matte shade and I run that along my lower lash line using a flat eyeshadow brush. The brushes I'm using are from Colourpop, by the way. They are the white brush collection. I also took two shimmery pinks from this palette and I used that to blend on the inner portion of my lower lash line. I also used the Dodo Hologram eyeshadow as an inner eye corner highlight. My everyday go-to eyeliner is the Spins liquid eyeliner. This is from my June Make No Life box, and I used to not really care for stiff tip eyeliners, but after this one is my most favorite and I'm definitely hooked on those. So I create a very easy wing with this, and I just start at the outer corner of my eye, and I kind of flick it out to how far I want my wing to go, and then using that tip as a guide, I kind of draw that in, following the upper lash line. It sounds confusing, but if you just watch me do it, it kind of makes more sense. That way I kind of map out the size of my liner that I want to wear for the day. And then after that, I just take the very tip of this brush to kind of fill it in. I did not stop there though. I decided to kind of have a half graphic liner moment, and I measured the very top of my upper lash line, and you can see my natural crease. I decided to go to there. So what I did was I started at the lower corner of my eyeliner, and using the very side of the eyeliner, I just kind of marked a spot where the upper corner would meet my previous liner, if that makes sense. Again, just kind of watch what I'm doing, and I just kind of filled that in. I didn't want a full heavy eyeliner look. I just kind of wanted something to really emphasize the outer corner of my eye, and I like graphic liner, so I wanted to try something different. I feel like this is a very natural but easy way to try a graphic eyeliner, and I think it really opens your eyes. After my graphic eyeliner is complete, I took my Tony Moly Bling Cat Tail eyeliner in glitter pink from my August Nico Glam October No Make No Life box. And I have actually never used this as an eyeliner. I have always just used this as an eye topper. It has a really nice sparkle to it that I really like using just as an eye topper. So I applied that to the middle portion of my upper eyelid, and that way it kind of reflects the light and adds a really nice pink but soft glittery look. I chose to apply it the same way, just on my lower lash line, and I also applied some to the inner corner of my eye. Now, because I am super extra and I love adding gemstones to things, I think it's a problem, but I'm not going to change it at all. I chose to use my Duo Lash Glue, and I dotted 5 glue dots where I wanted to lay the gemstones. And while I was letting that become a little tacky, I chose the gemstones that I wanted, and using a gem placer tool that I found off Amazon, I just applied the gemstones to my lower lash line. Like I said, I have a gemstone obsession. You can see my whole collection. I actually have a lot more, but I have those tucked away. I am curling my upper lash line using my Tarte lash curler. I actually really like heating up my lash curler using my blow dryer, and I let it cool off for a few seconds as to not burn my eyelash or my eye. That way the curl will hold all day. Now taking my Colourpop Act Natural mascara, which I have been using every day and I believe I am almost out of. I really like it that much. I am going to apply that to my upper and lower lash line. I really think this flatters my eyes whenever I wear this mascara. I think it adds a nice amount of length but shape to my eye, if that makes sense, that I really like reaching for this one. The only problem I think this one has is that it does transfer a little easy on me, which is a little odd because usually a lot of mascaras do not do that, but sometimes it will be a little too runny and it will transfer either on my lower lash line or upper lash line, but I can clean that up easily after letting it dry with a simple eyeshadow brush. Once my mascara has dried but is still tacky, I like to take a tweezer and kind of separate the upper lashes. I think this creates a false lash effect. I went ahead and took my Lucky Clips out, but don't ask me why I call them Lucky Clips. I have just always called them that. I can't remember anything that I wore them and got lucky with. That sounds really crazy, but I have just always referred to them as my Lucky Clips. I am not done yet. I took my Dear Darling Water Gelatin. While I was smelling this, I actually got it on my nose, and you have to be very careful because with water gelatins, they stain. I do expect this and don't mind it when using these types of lip products because I do expect them to create a long-lasting color effect on my lips. I quickly dotted it off my nose and then used the dry sponge to kind of help blend that out. You can see how I am blending the gelatin I have applied it to the middle of my lips, and then using my finger I am blending it out so the outer edges of my lips are not as harsh. To help blend the edges even more, I took my Colourpop Luxe Oil and I just applied that all over. The last makeup product in this box is the Dodo Hologram Lip Gloss, and I decided to apply that in the middle of my lip. I set with my MAC Fix Plus setting spray again, and after letting that dry, I had my completed finished makeup look. I hope you enjoyed my video, and if you are interested in No Make No Life, I will leave their product details and everything down below. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.